We're back. It's time for the final best of 3 in day 1 of season 2 of the GSL Code S. Elazer versus ByuN. People just don't know who to root for.
I know.
This is a tough one. I mean, everybody loves these two.
Yeah.
ByuN, the first player to win a GSL Code S without being on a team. How many days had it been? A little close to 3,000.
All the days.
All the days, basically.
All the days, yeah.
And then there's Elazer. Super ambitious, super solid Polish player who is living abroad right now, pursuing his dreams to become a GSL Code S champion.
Well, let's get past ByuN, who actually played quite well tonight so far, especially against Leenock. And, Leenock is not a slouch in this matchup, but I do think that Elazer can deliver us some better ZVTs. So, what will ByuN bring? Will it be the same type of style against Elazer?
I think it's going to be the same style.
Yeah.
I'm expecting ByuN to he's probably really warmed up with that. If he wants to mix it up, fine. But I expect him to just do that ByuN style push, control really well. With Elazer, I don't know. Elazer might want to play past ByuN's strengths. Try doing something aggressive. Try taking the initiative. Maybe Elazer's confident enough he can just stay back and keep defending everything ByuN does until ByuN essentially exhausts his opportunities and Elazer closes out in the late game. Okay. There's a lot of ways this could go. Our game's loaded up. Let's do this.
Fight! Team Clash, Elazer. ByuN.
Well, whoever wins, at least the fans win, right? And
yes,
the fans
yes.
The fans actually win doubly hard. Because don't forget that tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. KST, the Pylon Show with Artosis and In Control,
right.
episode number 2 on In Control TV. Check that out.
Join the fun, guys. Don't miss out.
Do you think this is fun? Imagine how much more fun it would be with In Control instead of Tasteless, okay?
Oh, it would be a blast, man. I'll be watching Artosis.
Yes.
Actually, I'm gonna sleep in tomorrow. I'll watch the VOD. But Artosis, I'm glad you're back. There needs to be more content out like that, in all seriousness.
Indeed.
There needs to be shows about StarCraft that are not just casts.
Yes. That is certainly right. Can't only have pure esport.
Not
just
just
interesting
pure
spawning pool.
Sport of the E, as they say.
Yeah. Couldn't get that spawning pool more far away. Should have brought his drone down into the natural, right, in front of the ramp. Started a hatch, canceled, make the spawning pool right there. Let it bleed out a little bit. But no, that's pretty far down there. Going to help out against drop play that ByuN is well known for. Just funny to see it there because no one ever places a spawning pool like that.
Yeah, you never see that, do you? It's so weird. Overlord headed towards the main here. We're off to a slightly slow start. Artosis,
Yo.
Let's talk about the experience of everybody in our industry that everybody's had this happen. I guess if you're a fan of shows like this, then you've probably been challenged in this weird way where someone says, but is it really a sport, esports?
Oh, our esports sports?
Well, that's what people come at you with.
Yeah.
Is it really a sport?
Is
it really though? It's not a sport. I'm like,
that's
no,
not a sport.
You're right. It's why we call it an e-sport.
Yeah. Well, the amount I don't care.
I don't care.
It's like, it's actually crazy.
They're like, well, do you think you're ever going to be acknowledged as those NBA basketball players? Listen, buddy, I'm a 33-year-old man living in Korea doing StarCraft. I don't give a shit about the basketball players and what they think. Or other sports guys. Now, I like other sports. They're great. But, I mean, guys, don't confuse the fact that it's branded as an e-sport means it actually confused itself exactly with the physical sports.
The people who are actually saying that they're actually like,
I'm like, you actually just
they
missed the whole
feel
point.
threatened, basically.
Well, also, what's funny about it is it's like, the whole point is that gaming tournaments are so sick. They're so awesome.
Yeah.
And people love them because it's so cool to find out who's the best.
Yeah. And
especially at games like StarCraft. It's so awesome to see two great players play.
can I make fun of a sport real quick?
You can absolutely make
Anytime
fun of a sport.
anyone's like talking about like, well, I mean, this isn't really a sport or whatever. The thing is, I don't care about that, but then I always think about bowling and how everyone accepts bowling as a sport. Well, here's the dumbest single-player game ever created. There's a maximum score and pros hit it. And it's like, guys, there's a maximum skill cap in your dumb little game called bowling, and I'm sorry if someone out there likes bowling. You should like whatever you like. Don't let what I say affect you like I don't let what these idiots say affect me, and consider me an idiot if you like bowling. But I look at that, I'm like, what? What?
Yeah, well, the thing is, all games of all forms are awesome, right? But you got to embrace that. You got to accept that. Like, as I get older, I have so much more appreciation for all types of sports and all games.
Oh, absolutely.
It's so cool. It's so cool when you really appreciate just how hard everything is when you really get down to it.
Dude, when two people both want to win, man, it's difficult.
By the way, we have ByuN opening with a very standard, very traditional TVZ opener. The double medevac with the Marines. He will be skimming the edges of the Zerg's base, taking out creep tumors, ideally shaving off chunks of the army. And if it is an innovation or Mario-esque quality style, he may end up just pushing and winning the game.
I tell you what, ByuN is actually the OG of this, and his are as good or better. So we'll see how good he can do here. A lot of queens in here.
Wow. Actually goes in there, takes out the queen, picks up, only loses 3 Marines.
Yeah, he
may
couple
rinse
queens,
and repeat.
right? How many queens did he actually end up killing there? 2, 3 queens? A lot of lings going down right now. Does get forced back a little bit more. I love this, dropping in the little purple cube thingies.
You mean the neon violet squares?
No, I mean those purple boxes over there to the right.
Pushes continue on. Now, again, ByuN's army is a little bit thinned out. We're still waiting for the next wave of Marines and medevacs to come forward. But he has basically bullied Elazer back to his natural. Combat shield's almost done here as well.
Yeah, like the pressure is good and the pressure is cool, but like this is a ramp. It's really hard to go up a ramp, even in this type of situation. His reinforcements are far away because it's such a long map. And Elazer's taking a 4th during all this. So I think Elazer's not really sweating it as of yet.
Well, luckily, okay, hold up. Another big attack here. Now the Queen should be targeting down the medevac. 1 goes down. Okay, 2 go down. Did ByuN overstay his welcome?
He killed a hell of a lot of lings during that, but losing those medevacs makes it a lot harder.
Yeah.
The Liberator actually heading up, I believe, towards the main base there.
Should be, yeah.
Yeah, most of the queens are the natural.
Spore is maneuvered right over here underneath this Liberator. Again, though, did ByuN overextend? Because of this map, Elazer was able to expand into this base right here, just in the back of his main. Which means even though the pressure from ByuN is scary, it's not preventative as far as Elazer's economic growth. So,
well, that's the problem, right? Normally you'd be doing all this whittling down damage, and then you'd be trying to cancel the 4th base, but you can't even get to the 4th base. And it's not
we've talked about this before,
but yeah.
Sometimes ByuN picks builds where I question its utility on a map like this one, for instance. We've seen him do this before. I'm like, well, this is not bad, but is this really the build you want to do on this map?
Yeah,
is this the best choice you really had?
Like,
I'm not sure.
Pull this out more on like a map like, let's say Acid Plant, for instance, right?
Sure.
I mean, I don't know. I don't like it as much here because, again, as you said, Elazer has that 4th base. So he's looking pretty good, but ByuN is taking his own 3rd base during all of this. Continuing to mass up, but Hydras are on the way. Baneling's on the way as well.
And Elazer's creep is actually still pretty well spread out here. ByuN seems to be waiting for another scan to come so he can eliminate this. Pretty bold to just be sitting on creep like this at this moment. And here's that scan now. Elazer erring on the side of caution, does not overextend here. Wow, good job by ByuN. Takes out 1 queen, picks up, and does not lose anything.
Quite a precise pick-off right there.
But look at Elazer continuing to grow. He's expanding again, Artos. It's going up to 5 bases to what is possibly becoming measly here for ByuN, his only 3.
But ByuN, strategically speaking, is playing nicely in another way. He's adding the second factory at a very good time. If he hits a massive siege tank push after keeping Elazer back for a long time, that is going to be really strong against the Ling Hydra Bane. Like, are you going to have Hive Tech out by the time ByuN moves out with a bunch of siege tanks in 2-2?
Elazer already preempting his drop. ByuN has to turn around.
Yeah, drop time is over, I think.
Hold up. He's going to force a cancel here. This is actually a very good find here by ByuN.
Yeah.
And Elazer has no time to react. And that's not even canceled, that's actually a kill.
Oh, but he's going to actually end up losing all the units.
Yeah. You know what, ByuN? ByuN consistently, oh my god, are you serious?
It's going to die, come on.
Goodbye. Now, ByuN's done this several times. He overstays just a little bit. I mean, ByuN is known for basically having the best unit control in the game, and he does a lot more damage than you normally see. But that's a double-edged sword. If you overstay your welcome, trying to be a Harlem Globetrotter with your micro, and they just kill it, the Zerg is going to win. 171 supply Zerg here, massing up Banelings.
Coming out with these Hydras right now. The 2 mines burrow, and they do get some connections, but this army of ByuN is just so small.
Elazer is going to come in here. I think he's going to smash this base, and he's going to be 1-0 in this series, Artosis.
I don't think he's going to die yet, ByuN. He's got 3 siege tanks. I don't think you can break this.
I mean, if he makes enough Banes. Uh-oh.
That's
totally denied. Elazer is so good.
Well, ByuN is looking for damage and unable to find it there. The thing, I really don't like that drop. I understand it, though, right? Like, you have a ton of Zerg units out your front door. You don't think that he's going to have units everywhere to stop you.
Okay, the Banelings are staying out of the tank range, or at least trying to. With this pickup, more spilling in. Even with the wall, it looks like Elazer might be able to break through. Banelings coming in and connecting.
Wow, that is a lot of damage.
This is pretty crazy.
Jeez.
26 STVs have been killed off, and Elazer's still not done. Pouring through, another siege tank comes in. It is not going to be enough. GG.
Okay, I take it back. I guess he just got to roll in with enough Banelings and kill it.
Wow.
Very well done by Elazer.
Yeah.
He's on match point to go to the round of 16. A big, big deal. Scarlet, the only non-Korean who's been able to get there.
These non-Korean Zergs, man. Now, Elazer still has to win one more game, but, you know, I was saying ByuN is going to try to push in. Elazer's defense was too good. And the moment we saw that drop and the main get gunned down, and there were so many moments where ByuN was doing damage, but Elazer is so focused he's gunning down the medevacs.
Yeah.
And in the end, it's like ByuN's his own worst enemy. ByuN just keeps attacking in.
Indeed. And his first factory actually was not making siege tanks during these pushes.
Yeah.
So he was a little bit lower on siege tanks than he needed to be. I know it was like kind of being like, ooh, he's getting that second factory. But when they showed the unit tab, he actually only had a single siege tank. So, you know, obviously, if your opponent gets up to a critical mass of Ling Hydra Bane, Bio has a hard time against that, I guess, unless you're Maru.
Game number 2 will be on Blackpink. ByuN, a former GSL Codes champion, may have met his match. He may be eliminated by this Polish Zerg who is hungry to become a champion himself.
Fight! Team Clash, Elazer.
Yep, Krill is a sponsor.
ByuN.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that Elazer's going to move on, Artosis.
I knew you were thinking something. I saw the smoke coming out of your ears.
In Korea, they call dumplings mandu.
Yes.
But maybe by the end of today, we're going to start calling them pierogies.
Ooh.
That's right. As Elazer
went there.
is taken over. This is crazy. He did so well in his defense.
Classic comes up, excuse me, Tasteless.
Tasteless, they're still called Mondus. I'm like, hey, stay out of my cast. Stay out of my cast, man. Let me do my job.
Wow, your English is so good.
There is his pool. It's always put out there. How funny. I wonder if maybe he puts okay, I think I know why he actually does his Artosis. I think he puts the pool out there because he wants to have more open area behind his minerals so that players like ByuN can't drop back there and abuse the surface area.
This one in particular kind of scouts the side of his base as well, I guess.
Scouting pool, yeah.
Yeah, like it gives you more a vision of where ByuN is going to drop stuff in.
This is the one of the more epic soundtracks in StarCraft.
Dude, all the StarCraft music 1 and 2 is so good.
It is. It really is.
It's actually crazy.
Can I be honest with you, though? I was never a fan of, even though I'm a Protoss player, I was never a big fan of the StarCraft 1 Protoss music.
It's pretty good, though. I was listening to it today. It was pretty good. It's not the best.
It's not the best.
Yeah, like, it's the third best out of the 3 races. You know? But it's still very good.
The Queen comes out. Is going to drive away the Reaper.
Yeah,
what exactly is ByuN going to do this time around?
Well, he's going for the same build as last game.
He's going to try to push out here, but is it going to work? I don't know. I worry for ByuN because it seems like he really hit his stride with this great control, and now when he loses, it's always the same thing. He's attacking, it's not working. Eventually, the supply disparity is so huge that the player just moves across the map with his army and punts ByuN out of the game.
Yeah.
Like it's a football, you know?
Yeah. I know what you mean, but this map will be a bit better for it, in my opinion, than Neon Violet Square. Just the fact that Elazer was able to freely take that base, and let's not forget that the entire time that ByuN was microing, he was running up a ramp.
True.
Here, there's, like, the Queens can't just sit on one level ground to defend. You know, the natural's on a ramp, and then the third's on a ramp. So there's a little bit more play there for ByuN. And taking the 4th base for Elazer, that's a bit more difficult as well. So it just overall, and the map is shorter, okay? Everything about it makes this a little bit better map, in my opinion at least, for this type of build from ByuN.
As time passes, Stim's about halfway done here. Once we have those 2 medevacs out, so Terran can really try to push. Can't really push before either of those two things. Reigns without Stim are just awful by comparison. I mean, you can try to do stuff with them early on, but then the combo of the medevacs healing them, and then you can actually pick up exactly all your Marines, is why this is such a trusted... Like, if you're learning Terran, guys, ByuN's build is actually one of the best ones to try to practice.
I think so.
And it's something you can always kind of build off of. Now, I do wonder if it's going to work against the Elazer, though. This guy is just, he's so solid. He's seen it all before. By the way, Elazer went 1-2 with Classic today, too. I mean, taking a game off of Classic is no joke either.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Europeans are fantastic nowadays.
They really are.
And especially they have a lot of strong Zerg players, which is part of the reason I think why we saw 2-0 against Leenock, who's not even a slouch in ZVZ. I gotta tell you, I feel like Elazer ZVZ really awesome today.
Okay, ByuN begins to unload. Now, the main priority is to try to take out creep tumors, but the more of their army, if you get good exchanges, sometimes this game snowballs. Sometimes you just keep pushing through. Okay, ByuN thinks twice about trying to over-target one Queen over there.
Very good micro on both sides right there. That was really good back and forth,
right.
And you saw the medevac skin pulled back a little bit more carefully this game almost. 3rd CC on the way as well as the Liberator. So ByuN keeping on the course. Wants to get his harassment done. That +1 carapace is going to be finishing up relatively soon for Elazer, so that's nice.
Again, not enough damage really done here by ByuN, but it's beginning to stack up. He now has another medevac, more Marines here. There is a 4th base being taken there at the bottom that ByuN is not. He's not probed around that part of the map here. Coming forward now, tries to target down one Queen. Transfuse saves the day. The moment the Elazer realizes he's going to be off creep, he retreats back.
It's really well done.
I'm sorry, were the Queens targeting the medevacs or were they hitting Marines?
I think that he targets the medevacs when he can,
Okay.
But you don't want to be missing volleys either, right? So
Sure.
there was definitely a little bit of Queens attacking brains there.
And Elazer not letting up. The moment that ByuN backs up, the creep spread continues to push out. He is not slowing down in his growth.
Each time you do that, ByuN has to use another scan.
That's
put
right.
more damage onto those as well.
Okay, is he going to get this one queen? Yes.
Get some more tumors.
The first queen kill has gone down.
I love this dance.
Elazer's hatchery is going to be under
Look at
pressure. He might have even timed this out where he knows it's going to finish.
That was a pretty sneaky fourth base, by the way.
Well, it's kind of hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, it's like you probably expect the other fourth to be taken, I guess.
Look at
I'm surprised
this.
he even went down there and tried to take it. Or is he going to be able to just take it? I guess so.
Well, this is kind of weird because those Marines actually did so much damage. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But the Banelings are down there. I don't know if the medevacs are bruised enough to where he's just looking at this and saying, okay, if I lose 1 or 2 medevacs, I am going to lose my army. I don't want to lose in the same fashion as the last game, right?
Sure, absolutely. He's actually reactoring out Liberators right now and making siege tanks. So it's a little bit different from what we saw from ByuN previously. But Baneling speed is finishing up. The Hydra's Den is on the way, but it'll be a bit before we have Hydras in the game with any upgrades.
Okay, so this is pretty clutch play here by Elazer. He's got that fourth base up and running. You know, a Zerg player is always, if they're not doing something crazy, they're just trying to get to a specific point, especially in this matchup, where Terran is constantly trying to get in there and shut the game down.
Yeah.
And the fact that Elazer's deflecting this so cleanly, he really... Oh, hold up. Let's see how this push goes before I start showering Elazer with praise.
Just the fact that he got this fourth up, I'm like pretty impressed. Like I didn't even see the drone go out. There was so much pressure on him. And then like it was in such a spot that it seemed like he wouldn't be able to hold it, but...
You ever feel like occasionally ByuN is just, he's too caught up in running away? You know what I mean? He doesn't want to pick up. He's still going to try to find that opening where he can do more damage with his control. Now these Liberators are a bit of a nuisance. Yeah. But again, we want to watch this Marine medevac army. Okay, another medevac goes down. Elazer's defense is just too good.
Yeah, he's seriously having a hard time getting this done, but more drones are falling. Definitely an okay number of drones being killed off here by the Liberators, 15 in total. So ByuN does lead as far as army goes, and he has a decent number of siege tanks right now.
Okay. Elazer still staying back, continuing on with the upgrades. But you can see that the pressure really slowed down. I think in a lot of games when ByuN sends out those double Liberators and is pushing, that's where the mayhem happens, but Elazer just slapped it down.
By the way, he was much more on top of making siege tanks out of his first factory this game. His second factory is done now, and he has 3 siege tanks already done, the 4th just finishing. So definitely going to be in a better spot if we see Elazer with a massive attack this time, like we saw in that previous game. But Elazer's actually teching up to Hive right now.
So, ByuN, again, looking for an opening here. Looks like he will end up unloading. How many medevacs have been gunned down, Artosis? Were you keeping count?
I'm not sure. I want to say 2, but...
Really?
It could have
a little bit more.
It could have been. I think I saw 2.
You know, it does add up in the long run. When you start to see these medevacs picked off one by one, when you see that actual big battle and you're trying to figure out, can the Terran sustain that fight? Can he actually heal enough units that, you know, as everything clashes together, it turns the tide in his direction? And you can see once again,
2 more medevacs
like
go down.
ByuN overextends, I think fairly consistently, to be honest. And here we go. It's not just about this. Get the medevac away.
Once there's actually a reasonable number of Lingbane Hydra out, it becomes harder and harder to actually get damage done with these drops.
Very true.
Like, if you're playing against a much lesser player, you're going to be able to easily out-multitask them and pull them around, but someone like Elazer, he's just defending everything, and you're just watching ByuN lose a whole bunch of units here.
Okay, again, ByuN still on 3 bases. And look, I'm sorry, he's actually just now taking a 4th as I said that. So he's moving the CC down here. But, I mean, are there enough Hydras and Banes here? Oh, my God. Well, you know, that's how fast Hydras deal damage.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he lost a lot of Banelings in that process. That was actually a blunder by Elazer. I thought he was going to get the command center not quite in range there. And now maybe these drops are finally going to do it here for ByuN.
Well, there's definitely a lot of units across the map, but a ton of queens come out. These medevacs look like they'll be picked off now.
Damn.
So that's another 20 supply gone. There's 30 supply gone. And we had just seen 20 supply lost just before that Hydra counterattack. So that's like 50 supply. He'd be over maxed out. You have 210 supply. That's pretty hard to stop.
Elazer's defense, solid.
Yeah.
Ultralisk Cavern now started, and I think we're finally at the phase of the game where basically Elazer's shot down everything ByuN's tried. There's an opening now for Elazer to try to come in here and Hulk smash ByuN.
Do you think he can actually get him though? Like he's making 3 Vipers. Well, he's got a good economy, but ByuN has a lot of siege tanks. I don't know that 3 Vipers will be quite enough, especially with Ghost coming out right now. If ByuN hits good snipes or EMPs, you know?
Oh, look at that. Takes out the sensor tower. You might be right, Artosis. He might not quite have enough to be comfortable doing this. In fact, he might not even try to attack. I might be misreading this. He might actually want to just stay back and continue to try to expand, since really the 5th base for Terran is a lot harder to get than the other bases on this map. Terran can turtle up pretty comfortably on just a few bases that are already there. And again, another drop, shut down.
Yeah. Like, he didn't really even get too much with that one either. But ByuN is staying on top of his macro. He's got 4 bases. You know, he's kind of switching up his units, but his drops are really not getting a whole lot done. And I'm not sure what he's looking to get done with it exactly. Like, are any one of these 1 medevacs going to get a lot done?
Well, I just don't always feel like ByuN has an off switch. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
He just keeps on dropping. He keeps on dropping. And sometimes you're watching it and saying, okay, if you didn't do that, you would actually be in better shape.
His greatest strength is his greatest weakness as well. There's no doubt about that. But that's true with so many people as well.
Oh, wow. See, here we go again. Flew right into that.
Yeah, queued up that one, much to his dismay. 3-3 on the way for both sides here. Chitinous Plating about to finish. Adrenal Gland's coming as well. So really getting into the late game.
Again, this game may come down to Terran's 5th base. On this map specifically, Terran is kind of okay turtling, because there's not a lot of open avenues where Zerg can try to come in and really deal a lot of damage. Zerg want to fight, generally speaking, in open areas in situations like this. But the 5th base, I mean, Terran eventually, those resources dry up and Terran is forced to move out. Zerg in these situations a lot of times wants to try to stay out on the map. Ooh, careful. Ooh. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, it's kind of funny to see those pulled. So those are technically still on the ground when they get abducted, right? Because I think some Banelings actually connected with the ghosts as they got pulled through.
I think when they're being A-moved, even though they're, in theory, they've been picked up off the ground, I think that the Baneling can still connect.
It's like his feet are just barely above the ground. There's a lot of siege tanks here, a decent number of Liberators, and a lot of ghosts. So we haven't seen ByuN play a late game TVZ like this, and this isn't the same late game TVZ that we see like from Maru, for instance. He's not going into Ravens or anything, but his set of units is really strong. So you do not want to count out ByuN right now. Look at this, very good snipes getting off. Looks like he would lose a few extra units.
Once again, ByuN just manages to lose another drop. Elazer is trying to prepare for a push down here, because this is the 5th base moment. ByuN's coming out. It's not the easiest location to get into, but this would be an ideal opportunity for him to try to end this.
You know what? Ouch. I like the abducts on Ghosts, though.
Yeah, at first I thought it looked a little bit weird, but why not? I mean, Ghosts are pretty expensive.
Yeah, absolutely. Get them.
Ghost trying to snipe. Anyone who will be interrupted in that spell as well.
Anyone who will abduct a siege tank but not a ghost is a hypocrite, if you ask me.
Okay, so we're at the point where the creep is actually at the Terran's expansion. He's going to come out again. Here we go. Snipe on these Hydras.
Wow, really nicely done right there. And actually gets an EMP off onto those Vipers.
There's 8 Broodlords coming here. Terran's trying to push through. Scary moment here. Elazer's low on supply. He's low on minerals. He's low on gas. Oh!
Ooh,
really nice.
A cocoon he didn't finish. That hurts.
Okay, so Elazer hemorrhaged a lot back there.
Yeah.
That was a crazy amount that he lost of Ultras, Vipers, some Broodlords that were making. But now that the Broodlords are out, this is when pressure can begin to mount.
Yeah, can he actually delete all these Broodlords? Because once he does, what does Elazer really have going for him?
This is a super awkward moment with the siege tanks as well, as everything that's in the front here is going to be eating siege tank shots.
Yeah, it's hard to get these steady shots off, right? Every time those ghosts take damage, it gets canceled. And with the siege tanks there, as well as Broodlords, as well as some Banelings, that's a lot of random damage that's going to be hitting your ghosts.
Sure. Trying to go for the snipe again. Looks like he's prioritizing Ultras. Problem is that I'm seeing a lot of Zerg units die here.
Yeah, a lot of expensive ones as well.
Yeah, in fact, I think in this game of Tug of War, ByuN actually pulled through.
I gotta say, ByuN's late game is really interesting and cool to see, right? Instead of utilizing some things like Ravens or anything like that, he's just sitting here on Ghost Tank for the most part.
It's kind of unbelievable he actually powered through a position with Spores, Broodlords, Ultralists, Zerglings, Banelings, Vipers. He actually just powered through that.
Yeah. Oh, guys, don't worry. Corvid reactor's on the way. Okay, so we'll get into those Ravens soon enough. But his nuke macro is off. Maru would be making 9-10 nukes right now for sure.
So, I guess Elazer is going to concede that the 5th base will go to ByuN, and he'll get to be a little bit bigger this game. And Elazer's basically going to have to try to shoot for a much, much longer game here.
These ghosts are just doing so well. These siege tanks really adding a lot of firepower as well. A Raven is on the way. We don't see like 10 Starport Raven yet. But he could get into that eventually.
Coming. Nice bungles here.
That's ByuN's counterplay right there.
So ByuN almost seems to want to try to push into this area that Elazer's occupying here in the bottom right. It's going to be a long road to try to do that. Meanwhile, nukes are going to be shot from the very top here. Well, those drops just not working for ByuN, Artosis.
Well, if he's willing to make things that aren't Marines and medics after losing all those, I'm cool with it.
Ooh, yippee, so good.
Wow, picks off the Overseer so he can't even be seen. Oh, no.
Okay, this is happening. This nuke is happening while this fight's going on. There is a small chance Elazer can't find the nuke.
Well, that hatchery, even if he moves the drones, is super low health. Oh my God.
The most satisfying nuke of GSL history.
20, well, no, I would say the one on Scarlet, but 21 drones and a hatchery.
But hold on, all these ghosts are going to be taken out. Wow.
How many ghosts does he have left? Only 4?
It's pretty big.
That was a lot of ghosts to lose.
Yeah.
And Elazer still has quite a few bases. Don't want to count them out quite yet, but
well,
his economy is not that good.
If the ghost count is that low, maybe Elazer can counter push with Broodlords. Oh, but there's Vikings here already.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be another. Imagine if he nuked that one, Artosis.
Oh, he needs to nuke that one. Nuke should be the only way to finish off these hatcheries. We got to get back to that other game on Acid Plant, man, with the hatchery that has like 1 health left.
That's what I'm talking about. ByuN's actually now taking a base that's basically always supposed to go to the Zerg.
This is a base we just don't even see taken.
Yeah, he's going to go for it. I don't know if this is the wisest move, since I think on some level Zerg's going to be happy to try to have fights here. But let's see. I mean, ByuN is already proven to be this force that can't be stopped as far as pushes go.
Nice push by Elazer, but I think it's his last, basically. Like, if this gets cleared out really badly, and it seems like it is, what does he have left to stop ByuN from marching out and killing 2 more bases?
I don't think he knew what he wanted to harpoon with those Vipers either. Some were ghosts, some were Vikings. In the end, there were too many Vikings. They ended up killing the Broodlords. There were too many ghosts. They sniped everything else. I think we're going to see Elazer tap out. There it is. GG. ByuN takes game 2. We're tied up 1-1, bringing us to our final match of the night.
Yeah, the final game. Which player will go on to the round of 16? Whichever player it is will make the round of 16 that much more exciting. ByuN or Elazer?
Classic was our first survivor. Leenock was our first player eliminated. It's down to these 2 players in one final game. They've both proven they can beat each other at least once.
It's quite interesting, I have to say, to watch ByuN's late game that game, because it wasn't very standard way that he played it. It felt kind of like old or something, but like basically people figured out other ways to play Supreme late game against Zerg and went with that for a long time. But yeah, that was cool with the siege tanks and the ghosts.
We did see we see right now actually.
Yeah. Lambo No Regret helping out Elazer.
I mean, everybody's discussing, okay, here's what you got to do. Here's what went wrong. You have one more shot to do it. The most legendary StarCraft 2 tournament in the world, Elazer, is here residing in Seoul with the hopes, the dreams, going on to the round of 16.
You're so epic.
It's like they got to throw us on camera because there's a delay, but I really want them to just keep playing epic music while I'm saying epic shit.
I know.
But here we are.
Just keep it
you
on.
You got to look
guys.
at our ugly mugs.
Well, they talk to Elazer and try to figure out what do you do now.
Yeah, I hope it's really good advice.
Yeah.
Hope they're not like
Lambo's.
Seems like you got a lot of ghosts.
Yeah.
He sniped too much of your stuff.
Yeah.
Elazer's like, oh my god.
It's like, yeah, the ghosts are really tough. Lambo tells him, you know what? You should play more like Cyril in this next game and just kill him.
Cyril.
And then No Regret's like, no. Banlink bust. Let's do it.
One's the angel on his shoulder, the other one's the devil.
But which is which?
Oh, No Regrets the devil.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Easy question, easy answer.
Catalyst
Guys,
is last map.
we're back at the GSL. We've missed you. We're going to be on every Wednesday, every Saturday.
I know. There's like no breaks, I don't think.
We're casting so much. We're doing ASL as well.
And that's on Sundays and what's that? Tuesday.
That other day.
So you get like Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wow.
That's right.
You guys are so spoiled.
Spoiled.
I wish
rotten.
I had us as a
Spoiled
kid.
rotten.
Oh my God. Why couldn't I grow up with adult tasteless and artosis talking about StarCraft 4 days a week?
I know.
Ugh.
Just imagine if we made little baby clones of ourselves. Sent it
Just
back
so they
home
could enjoy us?
to watch the older versions of us.
I already did that, bro.
And
you
learn
need
how
to
to
get
be
on
cool.
it, all right?
Yeah.
I got a little clone version that watches
Do you?
StarCraft.
You got a mini me?
I do.
I need a
three
mini
of them.
tasteless. Me and mini tasteless would have a good time.
Yeah, you guys would.
But I have to make him, because I have ego issues, I'd have to make him a little bit worse than me. Like, he doesn't have hands, he has flippers. So he might think he could be good at StarCraft, but we're never going to know because he's got flipper hands.
Yeah, but then you guys go swimming, you're like, damn, my fingers!
That's right. That's true.
I can see it.
Flipper tasteless. I don't know what the delay is. If it's
Fingerless, he could
technical. Fingerless.
Tasteless and fingerless. Oh, my God.
But anyways, when this game is ready, we are going to go into it. Our map is going to be Catalyst. This is a map absolutely ByuN's pushes could work out. Elazer is really,
It's a
as far
smaller
as
map.
defense go, he's had some insane defense. That was kind of crazy to see ByuN actually push through with those ghosts and expand while he's doing it.
Yeah.
He keeps on pushing. He's like, well, my army's here. I'm going to make a command center on the Zerg side of the map and keep doing this. So our players have requested further break time, and so here we are. We're going to keep you guys posted.
Okay. Looking at this map, though, Catalyst, right, it's kind of like a little bit smaller, a little bit narrower. I think it's a little bit better for ByuN than the two maps we've already seen.
The music's back. The camera shot is not us. Those are the players.
Oh, my gosh.
Wait, that can only mean one thing.
What does it mean?
We're going to Game 3.
All right, putting you on the spot. Who wins?
Elazer.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's ByuN. It's ByuN.
They're
that
going
wins.
down Artosis. Me and
Good
Team
try,
Elazer are taking on Team Artosis and his scumbag ByuN-loving fellas
Yeah.
here at this
The
GSL.
ByuN-loving fellas versus Team Elazer.net.
Tasteless, Team Tasteless the Virtuous, defeat Team Artosis
Fight.
Slime Balls. Let's find out. Shh, quiet.
Oh, I'm being quiet.
Shh, shh. Here it comes.
Team Clash. Elazer.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
ByuN.
Don't know who's going to win. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
It actually is. They've had quite a nice series so far. My favorite of the night, I think.
This is it. This entire night was leading up to this moment. Your entire week, viewer, was leading up to this game.
Your entire week.
Your entire week. I'm not going to say your entire life. Just calm down. It's your week. But you did a lot of stuff this week, okay? Maybe you got in a fight with your significant other and then made up or broke up. It was still just leading up to this. Maybe you had a big test and you passed. Maybe you failed.
Yeah.
That was also just leading up to this. It's all this moment.
And this might actually be involved with both of those as well.
Yeah.
Maybe your significant other watches this and you guys make up.
Yeah. You're like, why are we fighting?
Or maybe you're watching GSL all night in the middle of the damn night, not getting sleep, and you're not getting your homework done, and that's why you're failing your tests.
Yeah, that's okay. We're not going to tell anybody.
No, man, it's fine.
Yeah.
No problem there.
There's that pool again. The Elazer pool.
Scouting pool.
Scouting pool. Spotting pool. I might
Not a
call it.
spawning pool. A spawning pool.
Yes. Now, will ByuN go with that style of push? I have to imagine he's going to keep doing it.
Nope. Whoa. He's not. He's teching.
Oh, you're right. Look at that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have these moments where I'm catching this game and I'm actually just staring at her toes, just hyping this.
Like, he's going to all in, isn't he? I'm like, the command center's almost done. Like, are you even aware of what time it is?
Yeah.
Tasteless. Like, can you spell your name?
My hype got out of control.
Yeah.
Well, the Reaper's over here, delaying
such a fun dance.
the planting of the hatchery.
Now throw the grenade to bounce the queen back one time. What lazy.
Reaper comes back, and the hatchery's taken. The queens can return back to try to defend.
All right. Well, pretty standard stuff so far early on in the game here. But going into this Hellion base play, will he go into a Banshee? It kind of looks like it. Or how many Hellions he'll go for. If he'll stay more heavily on that. You know, I guess if you play the way that you did already. Okay, he sees the Hellions. I was going to say maybe he could trick him out a little bit. But the Hellions were just kind of sitting out front, so that's not going to happen. What I think you would have known anyways, you walk up that close to the Overlord. Both the other games, the Elazer sacrificed Overlords to see what was going on. And when ByuN shows a bunch of Marines, you're like, oh, well, I know what buildings you have now because that's too many Marines.
Yeah, just seeing those units alone is enough to just explain everything that his opponent's doing. Stim is on the way as those two Hellions are about to pop out. And here we go. Let's see how good Elazer's control is. Although ByuN is generally pretty aggressive, I don't feel like he actually overextends that much with the Hellions. It's more of an infantry thing.
He's not a guy that just runs past the queens and then gets surrounded by lings.
Although we do have a fair number of those in the GSL as well.
Yeah, they're called
players.
Terran players.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it.
I want to kill 17
drones. You know what would be
drones.
sick is if I just went in there and I just killed all his drones and won that way.
That would be sick.
Okay. He's trying to fight these lings.
Yeah,
Queens are coming back.
Notice how careful he's being around there. Enough queens come down, he has to back up. Banshee on the way right now. No cloak.
Scouting Ling, getting confirmation as to what ByuN's doing. Banshee headed northbound right now as the Baneling's Nest is about to finish up here. Let's see how many drone kills it can actually get. The Hellions are not far away. There it is, a landed Viking.
Yep,
He's going to try to draw some attention away. So guys, when you see a landed Viking moving around the map, you have to say, he's going to attack me somewhere else. That's my tip of the day, okay?
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, that's weird. I wonder why he's got that on the ground. I'm going to surround it with lings, and then, uh-oh. Wow, wow, wow. All my drones are dead. Okay. Spore is growing. Queen not quite coming up here. It looks like we're going to have, what was that, 2 kills? 1?
1 kill. 1 kill so far.
Compromise, 1.5. Stim almost done. And ByuN did stay back, just using those the Hellions to try to wipe out creep tumors.
The upgrades going on both sides. Actually, the +1 armor for ByuN didn't start. There might be a mistake here. Occasionally, you'll see a player like queue up both in the same building. Okay, there it is. There it is. So we don't know what happened there, but just slight delay, not a big deal. Failing speed on the way, that 4th base and Hydra's Den. So it seems like Elazer's getting into what I find to be a very nice spot, right? ByuN actually hasn't been able to do much pressure with these Hellions. And if he just gets into a lot of Lingbane Hydra, that's good against what ByuN's doing.
I guess on some level, though, to ByuN's credit, he did tone it down quite a bit. You know, this isn't ByuN the overextender this time around. But you're right, Elazer is one of those guys, if you let him off the hook, he is going to start to gobble up the whole map. He is going to tech up very, very quickly. Okay, ByuN just now has confirmation that the 3rd base has started. And ByuN's going to try to do a push through the valley on the far right. But I think Elazer might be ready.
Yeah, I don't think he'll really get too much done right there. All right, backs up. And Elazer actually getting the infestation pit already here. He's feeling pretty darn confident. He's got decent creep spread going on as well. I don't see any way for ByuN to attack. Even as 1-1 finishes and he pops out another tank, like, it just doesn't seem like a good attacking army quite yet. And like the speed of the infestation pit, I think is quick enough that even with his 2nd factory starting right now, it's not going to significantly increase his tank count. Like, how many, when that finishes, right, if the hive starts the next couple seconds here, which you would expect because the infestation pit just finished, how many more tanks are you going to have out before hive tech is out?
Maybe not enough. I mean, I don't feel like ByuN's able to take the initiative with this. You know, by the way, the creep spread's going out so far.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
ByuN did take I guess what we call the safer 3rd base, the much more conservative one. Usually when we see Terrans pushing a lot, they'll actually expand a little bit further out on the map. But this time he's staying way back. And he's going to come out now with a much later double medevac full of Marines. And Elazer's now at the point as Zerg where you can no longer take expansions that just hug the top, just based off his position. You have to start expanding a little bit closer to the Terran. And maybe that's why ByuN has actually had a relatively passive game to start things off, is he wants to wait for the phase of the game where there are bases that are easier to push rather than trying to take risks early on, where Elazer might actually want ByuN to push him because his defense is going to be good enough that he can end up putting ByuN behind in that sense.
We're moving some of the creep right now. Going to get out of there, though. Nice pickup there, not dying to any Hydras. Scan from ByuN to try to check out what's going on. And he can probably tell about how far along that hive is. Oftentimes you start the hive and Spire at the same time. So has a good idea of what's coming up. I think we'll see a Ghost Academy being added like any time now. Where's that Ghost Academy?
I do wonder because you know, just judging from how well ByuN did with the Ghost in the last game, I would feel like he has to have him. He's going to win this time around. Elazer is now teching up to Broodlords. Now, if we just look at the position that ByuN's in, ByuN can still take the bottom left. Which is, by the way, bottom left, I don't think you're going to be able to win that with Broodlords. You're not going to be able to push that.
That's a pretty far push right there. And Ghost Academy does come up, so it seems like we are going to get into that very late game situation once again. Huh. Do you like compared to last game, where do you put these guys?
Well, it's kind of weird, right? I mean, the last game they kind of expanded towards each other, and we ended up in this really odd spot where the Terrans slowly eliminated all the Zerg's tech units, and then slow pushed through the creep, expanded to where the Zerg's supposed to go, and then came with a closing blow. This time around, there's still a pretty big distance between the two players, so I don't know where exactly the point of tension is going to be. It seems like ByuN is starting to steer this game into a harass one. I don't know if that's going to work on this map. It seems like Elazer is kind of everywhere, but let's wait and see.
For me, I'm just looking at the creep spread, and ByuN was like at least pressuring and trying to get things done all in the Black-Pink map, but Elazer's really getting set up here. He's lost almost nothing all game. I think this is a pretty scary one for ByuN. He doesn't have that many ghosts, and there's 10 broods. That is a ton.
Okay, he's going to try to push up here. Keep in mind that, you know, the foothold that ByuN had in the last game was pretty scary. I mean, he had structures, wall-ins. Now, I don't know if Zerk wants to push down here. This is a pretty wide berth. Terran can really abuse that as well. But Elazer says, we're doing it. He's going to start coming in. I think those are the only 2 Vikings that Terran has, right? And there's not quite enough ghosts where they can just start to one-shot this whole army.
Yeah, the ghost count is pretty darn low right now. He does push him back for the time being. I think Elazer could push slightly more heavily here, but trying to deal with that drop. ByuN finally finding a drop that annoys Elazer some.
I feel like Elazer never really started mining from that 5th base.
Yeah.
He has it, but it's like he's keeping it like it's a territory and not like it's a point of resources. Now, this is a hard area to push through. Once Zerk goes down on the ramp, oh my god, he's going to do it. All right, here we go. I did not think this was going to happen.
Yeah, the spore push is real right now.
Now, this is like a serious commitment here. I mean, these spores are in range of tanks. But he does not want to let these Vikings do that much damage. The Broodlings are getting in the way.
And actually, the Broodlord's getting kind of low, but the Vikings being pulled back there. Maybe a slight miss micro from ByuN?
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's not quite enough to hit those Vikings. The spores are there. The most important thing is if these tanks can get eliminated, because the tanks are going to be what's hitting these spores. Oh, man.
Well, if they're not too busy killing their own command centers because of the Broodlings.
Okay, the ghosts are coming up again, though. ByuN is very good with his kiting. I'm starting to think that this was a mistake here by Elazer. Okay, he's coming forward yet again.
Yeah, ByuN holding on actually quite well here. The Hydra's coming up, trying to clear everything out. The Spore's actually definitely helping a little bit, but he's going to end up losing most of them, and he has to pull back. Ooh.
Yeah, this might be, or the point that we just had there, that might be what's going to cost Elazer this game. It seems almost like he freaked out and pulled the trigger. He's like, this is it. And that just seemed like a hard spot to try to push through. The spores came down, but the Vikings had a very good spot over this ledge. The spores are basically not a factor. And the spores, in kind of a very weird way, are like that your siege tanks is Zerg. Like, you want them to be able to drive out all the air units.
You know, I thought that he should be pushing pretty heavily with the Broodlords there, so I don't fault him too much. I guess the spore push forward was kind of interesting.
Well, it didn't work.
Weird way, but...
Yeah.
Oh, I like this, though. Look at this. He's actually adding a bunch of swarm hosts suddenly. And against these siege tanks, that's actually quite a nice counter.
It's pretty smart.
You know, the thing is, ByuN is not super mobile. The swarm hosts can kind of run all over everywhere, right? First off, they can attack into the siege tanks, and the siege tanks certainly don't like that. Secondly, you can do things like bombard the main base, maybe go down to the other side of the map. You never know, we might end up seeing a Nidus eventually once his economy gets back together.
It's kind of strange because in a lot of ways on this map, Terran has this opportunity to just sit and wait for the Zerg to mine out everything, right? Terran expands slower. And maybe that's kind of what ByuN wants to do here, is just he knows he's going to get better exchanges with Ghosts than Zerg can really ever get. Yeah. Unless there's some kind of crazy fungal on those Ghosts that takes everything out. And this is a very technical way to win, but the Elazer has to come up with some kind of an answer. So he says, all right, I'm going to go with something very efficient. I'm going to make swarm hosts.
Yeah. And they are super efficient.
And just hammer away at you with locusts.
It takes a long time doing moves like that, like killing 2 turrets with a wave of them, for them to pay off. But over time, just like any spellcaster, basically, they will pay off. As long as you don't lose them, you keep launching these, and you will get damage done. That time a little bit less. All the units waiting.
I'm out of here.
Watching 5 fungals come up real quick.
Okay, so Elazer is keeping a very safe distance, saying, I don't want to actually risk really losing any units. He's going to come forward with some of these spores. And to be honest, the sheer amount that ByuN has is making some of these attacks not really do anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Those locusts as well.
Like
We're trying to target ghosts.
Almost doing 0.
Yeah, like if you target the turrets and stuff, you will kill them.
But if I nuke the locusts...
That's funny.
Okay, now I've seen everything.
Yeah, I guess so. That nuke killed 2 locusts and 3 creep tumors. Well, that was a win for Zerg, I guess. bad nuke.
Okay, now Terran has the bottom left and is gathering the resources there. Elazer has taken this center right base on the Zerg side of the map, so we only have 3 more bases on the map total that have not been taken. Only 1 available now for Zerg to take, 2 available for Terran. So we could get up with this situation where it really is who traded more efficiently throughout this entire game.
Well, it's pretty close right now, and I do like some of these moves, though, from Elazer, right? Like, he sends in the Locust, the Vikings sat there, so he goes up and picks some off. Every little bit of damage you get is going to be good, because these armies are getting very expensive. Even though we see big banks being made, you need a pretty darn big bank to remax out. And, you know, even though sometimes you see these just ridiculous banks, oftentimes you won't be able to remax twice on the same units.
So
because the gas will be too high.
Terran's deciding to actually get rid of some of these SCVs, saying it's probably better to have a big army. Oh no, the spotter pool.
Oh, the spotting pool. Well, it's fine, it looks like.
Okay, another nuke is coming.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, hold on.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
No, wait. I think he stopped.
Oh, he got it. Okay.
He got it.
Hit a sweet EMP on those Locusts, too. That would have been a crazy nuke.
We're kind of at this crazy no man's land in this game. Before we were talking about where exactly is the point of tension going to be. Apparently, we're probably going to see this big ramp and Zerg keeping the high ground and kind of chucking down Locusts and Broodlings in the hopes of chipping away. However, there are so many tanks and ghosts. I don't actually know if these Locusts are really doing anything.
I wish that he would alternate where he's sending them. Like, if you send 1 wave into the main base with this many Locusts and decent upgrades, well, I guess he doesn't have +2 yet, but... oh, wow.
Wow, okay.
That's crazy.
Styling on him.
But if you send, like, even 1 wave up into the main base, you'll get a bunch of buildings, add-ons, stuff like that, you know? And that'll be some damage, and now your opponent's thinking, you know, ByuN starts thinking, do I need to have some units up there? Do I have to counter this somehow? Do I have to get more aggressive so he can't do that? So yeah, I would like to see him do something else with Locust. Just a little, like, he doesn't have to stay over there and just bombard that. Obviously, he's keeping ByuN in his place, defending against that, so that's worth something. But I feel like he could spend a few of those units.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. What an odd game we have here. Okay, the Ghosts are going to try to come in again. Now, basically, ByuN could just keep nuking this for days if the Elazer can't come in here and stuff. Oh, that's what we were looking for! Jeez, man.
Okay. Well, almost
Wow.
punished him. I think he's got to back up, maybe. Yeah, he doesn't really have the fungals anymore. He's got to run.
Yeah, Elazer needs to be careful not to lose focus. I mean, this has been an exhausting day for him, but
yeah, just
being on top of getting out of these nukes, I mean, it's very taxing on your APM. Like, he's got to move back all the spores. He comes back and replants them.
Look at the banks right now. ByuN is, like, broke.
Yeah, that's a good point. Elazer has actually got a lot of money stocked up.
Wow, those things did not even exist.
Yeah.
I forgot about those. Those died so hard.
It's crazy how fast they disappeared. I wonder if there's something else Elazer is supposed to be doing. Now, the fact that he's banking up a lot, that's pretty cool. But again, ByuN is just now taking his second to last base. There's still 1 more base, which, by the way, should be easy for ByuN. Should be able to take this one. Oh, you know what? Maybe not, actually. That one's going to be harder than when you really look at the shape of the map. Maybe actually Terran. Maybe Zerg can keep Terran off of that.
Save that one for last anyways, right? He's defending very well here in the middle, which should allow him to suck up the minerals at the base to the left of here.
You can see these investors trying to come out to get that fungal, but the EMPs do get off. These Raven numbers are getting comically high. So this is really a war of, like, spells on each side, as well as these units that auto-generate.
Yeah.
Because this is the most efficient way.
Free things.
Free things. The things that are essentially an infinite resource. Broodlings will always come out.
These guys
Ravens will always get energy.
Yeah.
Cooldowns will always reset.
These guys are basically both eating dinner at Costco right now.
Yeah. You're a poet, Artosis.
Yeah. Well, it's a great metaphor.
Now, even though there's been this big focus on not on this base, but the one over here, if that base that we were focusing on, I wonder if it would be advisable for Elazer to try to come down and take that out. Elazer has more banked up, and frankly, if he could take out that base over there, ByuN is eventually going to mine out all these other bases, and then he can end up winning that way.
He nukes all his own ghosts.
That's one way to win.
Oh,
no!
Okay, that wasn't that bad.
Well, it hurt a lot
could
of
have been
groups.
bad. That could have been awful.
Couple more snipes, couple more steady shots.
Yeah.
Okay, it's coming forward. I don't know what's going on.
Eat my smells.
I know. It's crazy how many steady shots are coming out here.
I like the anti-armor missile Locust. Those look really cool. They look
the Locusts come down. They're not making a scratch, though.
Yeah, and he's
Elazer
only
just
launched them into that area the entire time.
This is what I was wondering, is maybe he could have tried to move those swarm hosts over to the left? I don't know. I mean, I'm scratching my head trying to figure out what Elazer is supposed to do to win this game here.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit more hard, but his bank is still really solid. He,
Ooh! Can he do it?
Hey,
God,
moves like
see
that.
these EMPs. It's kind of weird because it seems like the Infestor is supposed to be the hard counter to the Ghost, but then the Ghost just hard counters back the Infestor, even if it's fungal. Wow.
The Locusts are doing, like, really very little other than keeping ByuN still.
Well, the problem is they're not doing enough quickly enough.
Yeah,
if ByuN was a computer and stayed back forever, then, I mean, it would still take Elazer a long time to win just with the Locust. But the fact that ByuN is so active and kind of reacting so well, I don't know about this base. This one base that has not been taken in the lower right. I don't know if ByuN's going to be able to get over there. Neither player is really able to break into the other's territory. Instead, we have this map cut in half with throngs of units colliding into each other, and just a spell fiesta goes down.
So this micro from ByuN is actually really nice. This is part of the reason why the Locusts aren't doing that much, because I think a lot of people watching this might be looking and be like, wait, is this really that crappy? Like, don't Locusts do more than this? They're landing, right? And there's a lot of damage there from ByuN, but basically the Locusts aren't really being targeted by Elazer. He's busy doing other things. So a lot of the damage we see happening to ByuN is from his own splash damage, because everything is going after his units, and like all the Locusts are, and he's microing his units back, so the Locusts aren't quite reaching them.
It almost seems like Elazer's been getting experimental with what the unit compositions to take on these Ghosts. Do you know what I'm saying?
In a way, yeah.
It's kind of mixing and matching different units. ByuN, though, again, guys, going back to the bank, ByuN only has 400 gas banked up. Elazer has 4,000. ByuN does have a lot of minerals, but that basically just translates to Marines and turrets. You know, it's possible that this money that's banked up here from Elazer could be what wins him the game.
Yeah, it's possible. It's a lot of gas that he has, which is very nice. Just be careful on this, though. It's actually... Ooh. I get scared every time he started going on after the wrong Ghost for a moment there. That was expensive.
Oh, man, is this going to land? I don't think Elazer knows this is happening. Okay, no.
He's got it.
Damn, these steady shots are so brutal.
Yeah, they are. But he is losing some Ghosts. Elazer is killing some off here and there.
And you
Where
can
did
see
those
this.
Locusts, the Storm Locusts go?
Ghosts and nukes are continuously being made. Even though these nukes are pretty cool, you have to wonder if when this game is all tallied up and we find out who the winner is, did ByuN actually win more with the nukes, or did he lose more, right? I mean, it's an interesting
those are
resources that you're spending.
Yeah. Now these Storm Hosts are actually getting something done, by the way.
And I was wondering about this, because we saw so much attention to that ramp, but if he can keep splitting this up, denied. If he can just start to chisel away at that CC, man, I don't know.
Yeah, well, repairing that isn't too hard for ByuN with this huge mineral bank. Ooh! Almost do? Not do. Never mind. Ew is more like. Like got 2 Ravens really close, then damaged them, then took damage. Move your spores.
Oh, no. Okay, well, the spores are going to take a beating. Keep in mind, though, Elazer's very much aware. Oh, just too late. Elazer is very much aware that if he can just take out the space over here, Terran will basically be mined out. Terran has not taken his last base. He can't really because Elazer's position is just a little bit too strong. That base is isolated over there. I wonder if Elazer wants to try to muster together a force that can actually come in here and smash this. It might not be the most efficient thing. You know, he might not have to spend all of his bank on it, but if he can come in there and do it. Oh, hold up, hold up.
Oh boy.
Ouch.
Yes, nice usage of spells there, even using the turrets.
Okay, if ByuN gets his base and keeps it up and mines it out, I think Elazer loses.
Yeah, that
There's
base
just no
is
way.
super crucial here. Elazer is... How much does he actually have left mining?
Did he actually expand? Oh, no, he just almost mined out. That base on the center right for the Zerg?
Yeah, that base.
Yeah.
What about it?
Hold on a second. The Locusts are coming down here and hitting the CC.
Like the mirror of this base that we just saw.
Right.
I don't know
There's
how
still
many
a
drones
decent
he's had
number of
there.
minerals there.
Yeah,
I
it
think.
might be.
Ouch. Okay, good number of ghosts taken out. Is this enough to come over here and take this out? Again, more ghosts being pulled in here. Keep in mind, guys, ByuN low on gas. Every time this is taken out, he has to remake all those ghosts.
Oh, my God.
Man, these Ravens, the damage output is insane.
Yeah. It's still pecking away over here. But those swarm hosts have shot so many volleys at this point. Oh my God, this is so funny watching spells cast against these.
Yeah. Spells on free units.
Wouldn't have it any other way in the late game.
Elazer at 164. He is not maxed back out again, although he certainly needs to. I feel like ByuN has won this incredibly long and drawn out economy play game. He basically fished Elazer out, made Elazer lose too many units, hemorrhaged too many units really. And then at the end of the day, there's just more resources on that side of the map. And this is a very smart way that ByuN's closing this game out.
Well, I don't want to call it closing out quite yet. Like again, I agree with you about that base that we're starting to see right here. This is the kind of important base on the map right now, but like I just want to really note the gas banks that we have here. Elazer has a lot of gas left to work with. ByuN does not have a lot of gas. So like once you actually, like what his army is, yeah, he has a huge amount of minerals, but if you kill his army, he only can really remake mostly mineral units, right? So that is true. Yeah, so Elazer still has a shot in this game for sure.
That is true. But again, Elazer first has to get there and try to take out these units. Like, you're right, if he catches all the ghosts and kills them, that's going to be great. But he has to do that first. And ByuN is punching back pretty hard here. Another nice surround here on some of these ghosts.
Actually, some of the Banelings connecting there as well, trying to take down this planetary, but the mass repair.
Yeah. Okay, ByuN now at 38 gas. This is the gas that ByuN has right now. The rest of its minerals, we may see him start to intensify the marine production.
Yeah.
Elazer now with more gas than minerals.
Yeah, Elazer on the other hand, man, like he's made a ton of spores this game and he keeps making some lings. I'm a bit nervous though, because if you don't balance the rest of your money, you might actually end up in this weird situation where, like, how do you spend all the rest of your gas? I guess we might see him just adding more Viper Infestor, this type of thing.
Yeah, he's actually just trying to target down the command center.
It's a tough thing to kill planetary here with the additional armor plus that many SCVs.
Here's the other problem too, is that eventually ByuN is going to mine out the lower, that left expansion, the one that's not really been the focal point throughout this game. When he mines that out, ByuN only has to defend one more location, and that's the one he's mining from.
Ooh, a decent Funko coming down right here.
Yeah. Ooh, another great one. Can he actually catch these ghosts?
Yeah, look, that's a lot of ghosts dying.
It is.
Oh man, starting to use some of these auto turrets as well.
Wow, he still has so many Ravens, though, on that side of the map. I mean, I feel like still ByuN should be able to maneuver with just the abilities he has. I think he can keep holding this.
Yeah.
Marine stimming coming back out.
Now, this might be a dumb question, I'm pretty sure.
Go ahead.
It does cost some amount of gas to repair a planetary, right?
I don't know, Artosis.
Because, like, it costs some gas to make it. Like, if you repair something that only costs minerals, it only costs minerals to repair. So, even damaging the planetary is costing him ghosts in a way, you know, because he's got so little gas.
You know, even if all the ghosts are taken out, though, does Elazer really have the resources to then go through all the Ravens, too? I mean, he can always auto-turret. He can do just weird stuff to try to buy time, you know?
Yeah.
And, of course, the truth is, Artosis, even though the ghosts are taken out, ByuN can keep making Marines.
Yeah.
And you are seeing those numbers grow more and more. And Marines are kind of a fix-all for most of the TVZ. So even though ByuN's endgame army won't be as epic, it will have the muscle to take this on.
Yeah. I'd like to see Neural, by the way. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know if he actually has it or not. But I think that that could be a very useful spell going forward here.
What would he want to Neural, though?
Well, the thing is, I think that based on his economic balance, he's going to have to end up making a bunch of infestors.
Okay.
So I think you're supposed to just have
Neural
Neural
everything
at that
or
point.
something.
And for style points, Tasteless, I think it's pretty obvious that Neuraling a ghost and then EMPing the other ghost with it
That'd be
is
sick.
the most stylish play we could see at this point.
Okay, minerals right now for ByuN, 6.2K, 350 gas. Minerals for Elazer, 1.3K, 2,600 gas.
Did you see how much more efficient Laser was there?
Yeah.
I mean, ByuN was there? It's crazy.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Oh, man.
So, slowly, ByuN's actually carved out a better no man's land for the Terran here with this new play. Here come those ghosts again. Ghosts are the units he needs to kill.
Dude, and ByuN is getting more and more into Marine Medevac because he does have so many
and Marine
minerals.
Medevac is going to lose to Mass Broodlings.
It'll eventually lose to the Locusts.
Sure.
But he does still need to kill this base. This bottom base is like ByuN somehow squeezing out his half of the map completely.
He's coming up now, hitting this location. Now, I don't know if ByuN has to do this, but he is going to go for it. I don't think this is necessarily overly ambitious, but he's going to bring his ghosts out again. ByuN low on this gas. Anytime these ghosts die off, that's where the rest of his gas is going, is to making more ghosts. Actually, you know what? He's making more medevacs. I think he's going to full on switch into Marine medevac.
Yeah. Well, it makes a lot of sense, to be honest, because a lot of what's happening here is just straight up damage. But I like the fact that we're seeing some parasitic bombs as well. If you just start parasitic bombing even the medevacs, like eventually you can whittle them down with just spells. That's kind of the beauty of playing that type of waiting late game. Oh no.
Oh!
That could have been a little bit worse. Not a whole lot worse, but definitely a little bit worse.
Nicely done there. Well, ByuN's beginning to stretch out. You know, if he's... I wish we could do a full-on mineral check here, because I don't really know how many more resources there are on the map. I believe...
So for Elazer?
Yeah, he should have 2 more bases. See, there's 4 patches there.
Yeah.
There's like probably something like 2 or 3 patches at the other base. So Elazer really doesn't have that much more. Now, granted, ByuN is probably dropping an insane amount of mules and sucking up all the resources down there. It would just seem to me that ByuN should have enough at the end to push through.
Ooh. Great parasitic bombs going down on some of these Ravens. Nice, gets 2 of them. Oh my god, there's more Ravens.
Yeah, no, he has a ridiculous amount of Ravens.
Jeez.
It's kind of a crazy game that we ended this on.
Yeah.
Okay, so
a wild one.
ByuN's going to try to destroy the rocks here. Oh, wait, hold on. Great fungal on those ghosts. If Elazer can keep taking out these gas units. Marine's coming up. Again, anytime that Elazer can use a spell or a free unit to take out anything that costs minerals and or gas, it's a win.
Look at the income though, Tasteless. Plus 0 gas. Elazer's mined out all gas except these two that he can't take right now.
That's a good point.
And he's mined out
that's why
almost
ByuN
100%
pushed here,
minerals.
because of those gas.
Yeah. Well, this is the easiest thing for him to hit, and it also defends the base that he's mining from.
Yeah, Elazer would need the sickest exchanges ever to come out and wipe out this army on the ground. This ramp that goes down here, it acts like a filter. So there's no way to get a good surround down there. He's trying to win it by chucking fungal growths down there.
He's just healing through it.
Yeah. Look at this. More locusts are going to come here.
Locusts are just not doing enough.
No.
Look, they're dying before they even land most of the time. All right, if he nukes his own ghost, then we got
That's
the game.
one way to do it. He's like, nah. Okay. That is GG, unless I'm mistaken. I know that Elazer has a big army. He has 483 minerals, 450 gas.
How much? Oh, yeah. You see, this is how crucial gas is, because if, like, Elazer's still maxed out, he's still got a lot of spellcasters. If somehow ByuN runs out of gas completely, right, and you're only on minerals, it's still a game. It's so funny, he just nuked his own refinery and stuff.
He's long distance mining gas right now. I don't know if this was necessary at this point in time for ByuN to do. All right, here we go. Elazer once again going to try to come in. He's harpooning these tanks.
Yeah, kind of a nice angle that we weren't expecting at all.
The thing is, every time you see a Zerg unit die, it's not going to be replaced.
Yeah, it's never coming back. He just made 12 lings as his last money.
Yep. Wow. Elazer going to die, not with a big bang, but a fizzle in this series. ByuN is proving that he is really a lot greater than simply a good micro Terran. He is somebody who can actually play the chess game of endgame StarCraft 2.
Yeah, his endgame is really interesting too, because he plays it way different than the other top players.
Yeah. And it worked. And it was very much tailored to what this map is, which I really like. It's the fact that this is a map that you cut in half very easily. There are expansions that are so clearly for one side and not the other. Zerg always expand more quickly than the Terran do, which means Zerg would ultimately consume more resources than the Terran, or consume resources more quickly than the Terran would, which means in the end game, the Terran takes his last base after the Zerg takes his last base, which means Terran has money coming in and Zerg does not.
Elazer is still gaining some value over here. He's like getting some decent spells off. Like, I still think that this is ByuN, but I just saw a couple good moves at least.
Well, it's Elazer at 131. ByuN, again, can keep making stim Marines, and that's what he's basically doing here.
Pretty difficult to stop this much at this point. He's only got a handful of drones left over.
Okay, he's just gonna muscle his way through this.
He has 7 drones and no money to make another drone. Okay, actually, he's still mining a little tiny bit. Oh, now 0.
How are you gonna kill all that as Zerg? The answer is you're not.
I want to believe.
Look at how careful ByuN's being too. He's like, okay, I'm not gonna screw this up. Just keep coming through here. Every kill I get, I am 1 centimeter closer to closing this out. The ghosts are gonna be eventually picked off, but again, all that ByuN has to do is keep making Marines.
Yeah.
Marines
feel
are
like
good
they
units to
can't
have.
finish it from
GG.
here.
There it is.
Wow, ByuN with the fist pumps there. That was a crazy series to end a crazy night in GSL CODES, round of 32, Group A, second season of the year.
I told you guys it was going to be epic. ByuN barely, narrowly moves on to the round of 16. Crazy day. Actually, a pretty long day, I'd say, for
Well,
Russ
yeah.
Artos is what, it's about 10:35 at night. Started
long
at
day.
6:30. You know, I wonder what Elazer's feeling, because that was not so much an adrenaline-filled game of, oh, I made this decision instead of that decision. It was a slow, methodical, macro crawl.
Yeah.
Where every mineral spent matters. Every gas spent matters. And it really goes to show you the multiple different dimensions of playing StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
And this time it's like, well, what if we just completely leverage the map, the matchup, and the abilities that each race has to come out on top. ByuN, who's known to win with great drops and micro and control, has shown that he is a multi-dimensional
네,
StarCraft 2
정말
player.
힘들고 처절한 승부였습니다. 2위 진출자 변현우 선수 만나보겠습니다.
That was a nail-biting series, says Gary.
감사합니다.
Our second player to advance is ByuN. Congratulations. Thank you.
아, 정말 축하드립니다. 눈물을 흘리셨는데요. 소감 어떠세요?
제가 GSL 결승
We saw
진출할
it
때도
look like you had tears in your eyes.
우승했을
How do you
때도
feel?
플리시콘 우승했을 때도 눈물이 전혀 나지 않았는데
Even when I advanced to the
오늘
finals,
삼성이
even went to the BlizzCon
8개월
finals,
만에 첫 라운드를 뚫은
I
거예요.
didn't
8개월
have
만에.
tears after a
네.
match, but after a game like that,
네.
그래도 되게 마지막 경기도 되게 힘들게 이겨가지고 조금 많이
I've had a hard time in some of my games just
네.
recently.
많이 뭐라 해야 되지?
So can you hear?
벅찼나요?
마음이 좀 많이 벅차더라고요.
네.
네, 그래.
16강 진출이
I was very
정말
emotional after I made it to
어려운
that next round.
거였네요.
It's been a while.
마지막 세트
It's been 8
자원을
months.
다
Because
파먹었어요. 이렇게 길게
even in that
이뤄지면서
last match,
놀라웠던 건 변현우 선수의 그 근성, 이거에 놀랐지만 사실 그동안 이 유령과 밤까마귀를 조합한 후반 운영을 보여주신 적이 없는데 이걸 정말 완벽하게 보여주셨거든요.
Your ghost
이거에 대한
play,
대비가
and
충분히
your
되어
Raven play,
있으셨나
that late
봐요.
game style, we don't
근데
normally see that from you. It
많이
seems like
못
you've come
보여줬을
to another
뿐이지
level, and you
네.
can
제가
prep for
만든
that.
거거든요. 유령
Yeah,
반까마귀가
well, I've
제가
actually had
네.
that cell for a
스트리밍에서
while,
써왔던 건데
but I haven't really
네.
had the
근데
opportunity to exhibit
오늘
it.
일레이저 선수가
네.
금단숙주라는 그러니까 저는
That's actually
금단숙주를
a
상대를
style
잘
that I
안
really like
해봤어요.
to use,
저런
though.
대처가 있는지 몰랐는데 오늘 여기 경기장 와서
A lot of my games have been
영우가
much
게임을
shorter.
해줬거든요. 근데
It
영우가
was interesting for me to see how that worked
쓰더라고요.
against Storm
네.
Host. I wasn't expecting
아까
that.
경기했던 게 많이 도움이 된 것
Before I
같아요.
came to the studio, Dark was helping me practice a lot.
일레이저 선수였는데 아,
So I
오늘
think
이렇게
practicing with Dark
완벽하게
helped me a
이기시는
lot.
모습 좋았습니다. 아니 이렇게 최종전 저그전은 확실히 변현우 선수의 그 감이 여전히 살아있음을 느꼈거든요. 그런데 이 프로토스전에 대해서는 아직 극복이 안 되신 것
We could see your game
같더라고요.
sense against Zerg was very sharp.
세종족전 다
But it seems like you're having a harder
극복이 안
time against
되니까
Protoss. Can you tell us about that?
잘한다기보다는 제가 전체적인 실력이
네.
되게 낮아졌다고
So my
생각을
overall
했어요.
skill,
진표가 나온 뒤로
I feel like
개막전이더라고요.
it's
일주일
actually
후인데
dropped off a little bit.
레더를 하긴 해야겠는데
네.
성적이
So,
너무 안 나오는
seeing
거예요.
those in the
그래서
opening
제가
match,
제 자신과 약속을 했어요.
I've been
일주일
laddering a
시간
lot.
있으니까
You know, actually,
일주일
even on
동안
ladder,
내가 레더를 해서
I've
1등을 못
lost a lot
찍으면
there
난
too.
못 뚫고
I knew I only had 1 week to prepare after the groups got set up.
근데 1등을 뚫어버린 거예요.
어머.
1등을 찍었어요.
네.
하루 남기고 찍어가지고 그거
Thought maybe if I could
가지고
just get one on
자신감이 좀 많이
ladder,
붙더라고요.
rank one on ladder,
그리고 저그전
I should be able to advance to the round of 16. If I don't,
저그전 승률이 제일 높긴 했어요.
I wasn't really sure, but I actually did manage to get rank 1 on ladder.
오늘
in
일레이저
a very
선수나
short period of time. I
선수나
grinded
두
hard.
선수 다 테란전이
And that really
많이
boosted my
약한
confidence.
선수들이라서
네.
오늘 좋은 경기 했던 것 같아요.
저는 약간 프로토스 포비아에 대한 질문을 했는데
프로토스
네.
레드에서 프로토스
I think also I got a little bit lucky. I don't think
그렇군요.
Elazer and
어쨌든
Leenock are as
이제
strong against
일주일이란
Terran.
시간은 좀 힘드셨겠지만
My win rate against Protoss, generally speaking, is the lowest.
시간이 있잖아요.
이게 막상 올라가면 한 달이라는 시간
Yuri's
동안
asking about the
많이
1 month break for the round of 16
많이
matches.
부족한 게 많이
We'll
보이더라고요.
see what he's going to do.
느끼는데
네.
그래서
Says, well, after today's matches, I still feel like I made a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of problems in my play that I can improve on. So I think there's no time
레더든
to rest
연습이든
for me.
다른 선수들 연습이든
I'm just going to consistently practice. I'm going to train hard
쉬는 시간은
and
없는 것
work out
같아요.
those chinks in my armor.
아, 변현우 선수 이 자신의
And come back
경기력에
and bring
대한
better games.
갈증도
Yeah.
크셨던 것 같지만 제가 볼 땐 인터뷰에 대한 갈증도 굉장히 크셨던 것 같아요.
이거 인터뷰도 8개월 만이에요. 제가
네.
Gary said, I think you want to have an interview too. He said, yeah, you know, it's been 8 months since I've had a winner's interview. I haven't been playing as well. I haven't been able to talk to you, Gary.
같았었는데
네.
그래도
I knew if I won,
정신이 없죠.
I was going to have lots of things to tell.
그 아쉬움을 조지명식에서 풀어주셨으면 좋겠습니다. 남은 16강 그리고 조지명식 각오를 끝으로 들어볼게요.
네, 조지명식
All right, what do you have to say before we close this out?
많이
Yeah.
못 갔어요, 조지명식을.
네.
시대 있을 때도 못 갔거든요. 그래서
I haven't been able
근데
to be in the
항상
group nominations of
조지명식에서는
GSL in some
저한테
time now.
좀 마음에 드는 조가 나오는 것 같아서 아마 프로토스 선수들이 뽑지 않을까
Seems
생각
like
중이긴
when I look
한데
back at my past games,
저는 그래도 이렇게 대진표가 나오고 나서 연습을
I
제대로 각 잡고
fall
하면
into
프로토스도
grooves.
굉장히 잘한다고 자부하기 때문에
네.
So personally, I have
근데
a lot of pride about my previous
빨리 뽑히지
play.
않았으면 좋겠어요. 저도
네.
제가
Especially in
예전부터 계속
TDP, I want to
말해왔었는데
improve on that.
조지명식에서 가장 마지막에 뽑히는 게 게이머로서는 굉장한 영광이거든요.
네.
And I
아마 그
think as a
자리는
pro
선수가 차지할 것
gamer,
같긴 하지만 저도 레드에서 많이 노력해서 다른 선수들이 어렵게 생각하도록
I think being the last
열심히
player
연습해야 될 것
picked
같아요.
알겠습니다.
is
자,
a big
그럼
contribution to my
조지명식에서
pride.
좋은 모습을
Sorry guys, this
뵙겠습니다. 다시
answers
한번
all over the
2위
place.
진출 축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
ByuN's very
All right.
excited,
All
as
right.
he should be.
네, 오늘 이렇게
I don't know.
극적인 승리
I'm glad
이후에 눈물을 보였던
I hope I was able
선수였는데요.
for you
자,
guys to
개막전 A조의 경기
successfully ride that
결과
mechanical bull of an
확인해
interview
보겠습니다.
at the end.
Dude, you know what? A great way to finish off the night with that interview
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Classic and ByuN do
That's why we love
advance.
ByuN. Yes.
Leenock, he was round of 16 last season, couldn't do it here, and of course Elazer in his second Codes, still unable to get to that round of 16, but he was oh so close.
Great series today. And we're not done. Group B is coming up on Saturday. That's going to be at 1 p.m. We've got some great games, some great gamers, especially my favorite color, Scarlet.
Oh God, I was like looking here, I'm like, there's no color here. What do you?
There is a color.
Like my favorite
It's
color
not
is
your standard
patience.
16 crayon Crayola box Artosis.
Yes, you're right. Scarlet.
Scarlet's playing. You got to be hype about that.
Yep. See if she can make another round of 16. I think she can. I think this group is hers, man. But this was a great first night back.
Yes.
I'm so happy that ByuN has moved on. I want the resurgence of ByuN. I think everyone does. He's such a fun, exciting player. You can see his personality just come out. He cares so much. I hope this is the beginning of him coming back and getting to the top.
I think he can do it. We've seen it with some other players like Classic who are super dominant and then weren't for a little bit and are now coming back and really showing how strong they in fact can be. It's unfortunate that Elazer was not able to move on. That was, I would imagine, most definitely a learning experience for him. ByuN really shifted gears in that game 3 and managed to just push through. We got to close out the studio, guys. It was a longer day than normal. We love you. We'll see you on Tuesday. It's good to be back in the GSL. See you on Saturday.
GSL
Not Tuesday, Saturday.
Season
See you on
2.
Saturday.
Godas. Overgrowth. 2018 GSL Season 2 Overgrowth.